Welcome back to Norwich City Chat. Our Coventry fans have taken over Norwich Twitter this weekend. This one, Lee, says, "My God, you are cheating and you're a disgrace to the Norwich badge. I feel sorry for Norwich fans having to watch that rubbish. Liam Manning, you're a choreographer, not a football manager. I've lost so much respect for him as a manager today. You are anti-football." Another commentary said, "I've always respected Norwich over the years. Similar club to Coventry, but today that performance has disgraced your great club. It was embarrassing and shameful." Well, are you ashamed, Norwich fans, of what you had to see? Are we getting away performances now are going to be anti-football? And is it in line with Norwich's ethos? We'll get three Canary fans to give their view on it. We're also talking about Mathias' first goal, and we'll get them to grade the transfer window as well. Welcome to a very, very combustible 20 minutes of Norwich chat. Right, you three were there. Tom, are these Coventry fans got a point?
No. To be quite honest, I think do they expect us to roll over like QPR did? Is that what they're not happy about? I think when we look at it on balance, Norwich would have lost that game 10 times out of 10 in the last 3-4 years. In terms of how we defended, how we played the game. We played the game. We got a goal and played the game.
It's not very Norwich though, is it, Killian? It's not. It's alien to other fans to watch a great footballing heritage side of Norwich come and do the dark arts so badly as well.
Yeah, well, it could be the new Norwich.
Right.
Obviously there was a bit of messing going on, but in fairness, it's what was been lacking for the last couple of years, and to be honest with you, only for that slip up at the very end, it would have really paid off, and it really got under the Coventry fans' skins, and that's what you want to do at a game is get under the home fans' skins to
Yeah.
rattle them a little bit.
Yeah, Ryan says losing out on all 3 points last minute was painful. Seeing all these rattled Coventry fans, absolutely priceless. Matty, joking aside though, if this is what's going to be happening going forward, sneak a goal and then do that for 70 minutes, you don't want to pay your money to watch that, do you?
I don't know. I'm torn. Do we? Don't say Natalie Rudia, Tom. Do we? Do we care how we win? I know we didn't win, but do we care how we win? No, if we win more than we don't, but you do want to be entertained. And I think to your earlier point, Mark, Norwich have this kind of legacy of being a decent footballing side. If we'd have won, I would have been absolutely buzzing. And as Tom said, 9 times out of 10 we'd have just rolled over and folded like a deck chair in previous years. So it's a good point on the road, and not many teams will go there and keep them quiet. Well, we did keep them quiet, but we didn't concede as many as other teams will this season.
I don't think it was as bad as they're making it out to be. I think, if I'm going to be completely honest, I think Coventry were very good, and actually, we rode our luck significantly at times. The goalkeeper was excellent. The back four were excellent. So, I don't think it was through, a lack of wanting to play, because there were a few occasions in the second half where we did sort of get at them and nearly stuck another one in. So, I don't think it was a case of us sitting 10 men behind the ball and saying, come and beat us, like we've seen from other teams that play against Norwich sometimes.
Yeah, if we have a look at the stats, though, I know people have their view on XG, Killian, but crikey, 28 shots to 3. Possession XG of 0.13. You can't honestly say you're going to want to travel the country flying over from Ireland as you do every single game, and brilliantly so, to watch this.
You can.
Yeah, point. I'm happy to do it. No, the reality is, I think on the XG on their side, I think Vladan saved us a few of those, no question. It's some world class saves there. It's not our fault if they take 28 shots and they can't find the net. To be perfectly honest. I think we were a little bit unlucky a few times. I think some of our players are still building in confidence. And I think Cernach and McCama, probably should have taken a couple of shots towards the end rather than trying to play it into the box to get somebody else on the end of it. So, I think Coventry were maybe a little bit lucky that some of our strikers are not quite at the confidence level they need to be at, but we'll get there and they'll punish some other teams.
Yeah, international week's always a funny one to come back
Yeah.
to, isn't it, Matty? When the players have been away. Napper's great says Coventry was just better than us. 7 points from 3 away games though. It isn't half all bad, and we can't forget that, can we? Yeah, three games on the road here, Matty, and yeah, you're looking a force.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, is to put it into perspective. Like Tom and I were saying this yesterday, with Blackburn and Coventry, bookending the international break, we would have snapped your arm off for 4 points. So only one goal conceded. Yeah, it's mad. Like, it's a very, very good away start to season. Obviously, we need to transition it into our home form. But to go back to the earlier point about playing style of football, away from home, you don't. I'm not going to say you don't care, but away from home, you're less bothered. It's more about getting a result. Everyone loves going and shithousing a 1-0 win or whatever it is away from home. So it's not the end of the world. I think obviously Coventry fans have taken it well, and I think our home form in the football we play at home should be where we make a bigger judgment.
Just so you know, if you weren't aware, we do one of these for every single championship club. So if you want to go and have a giggle, you can go and watch Where Sky Blues Walks episode this week and listen to 4 very, very irritated Coventry fans. Right, Tom, let's talk about this fellow then, shall we? City Writer says the first of many, hopefully. Your number 30. What have your impressions been so far?
Yeah, he's building. I think there's obviously a bit of pressure on the lad, obviously moving for a decent amount of money and moving country and all the rest of it at his age. But I think, I think he's been getting better game on game, and actually there's a bit of, confidence growing there. And I think for us to have seen the game so far this season, for him to even get the sort of shot off there and sort of take a chance, I think probably shows that he's come a long way since his first appearance. So I'm a little bit nervous about what they're going to say about his potential injury from yesterday. He seemed to be hobbling around on his knee quite a bit. So fingers crossed there's nothing too bad there. But I think if he can stay fit, I think he'll only grow and grow throughout this season.
Yeah. Clearly we've been impressed with Darling this season. Is that the first mistake you've seen? Tom says the first mistake I've seen Darling made, absolutely gutted.
Yeah, I think he's probably made a few, but obviously smaller ones that had less impact. Obviously, was a big one. But again, he'd put in one hell of a shift at that stage. So, I mean, I think overall Norwich fans are relatively forgiving of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll happen. At the end of the day, all these players are human. But I just would say about Mathias, I think one of the things which I haven't seen back yet, but his backflip was world class. Celebration. I'd love to see a meme of that. I think we'd see a lot more goals from him.
Brilliant.
Maybe that's what he did to his knee.
Landed.
Yeah.
Coming up, we've got the club versus country row back. Would you rather see Norwich promoted in May, or would you rather see England win the World Cup in June? You can get into that debate with us in a couple of minutes time. Before we get to that, though, Matty, Wrexham are visiting this Saturday for the first time. This fixture's happened in a long, long time. There should be 3 points on the board finally at home, shouldn't it?
It should be. But if our home form's anything to go by, it's with a massive amount of confidence. Did they get beat at the weekend? I think they did.
They did, yeah. QPR, yeah.
Back QPR, yeah. So, yeah, we should. But, where that circus comes to town and all of that ceremony associated with that football club. I'd love us to beat them, but I'd probably only go 50-50 in terms of my confidence at the moment, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, do you buy into their story of the risen from the ashes, or are you more one of these more kind of you bought your way here kind of thing?
I think to a certain extent, and the fence doesn't hurt. I think to a certain extent it's great because actually I think what they've done for the infrastructure of Wrexham, etc., is fantastic. The challenge is now, of course, is they've apparently got the axe wielding over Parkinson's head already, and he's going to be under pressure if he survives to come and play us on Saturday. Obviously, at the time of recording, he is still the manager. But I worry more about what happens to Wrexham if they walk away if they don't achieve it. Does it just fall to wreck and ruin again? But hopefully we'll stick 3 past them on Saturday, and that's not our concern.
In terms of team, Tom, would you change anything?
I think Jurasek is due a start, or at least a more of a meaningful appearance. I think Diallo's been a bit quiet last couple of games. I think since his sort of explosion onto the scene in the Watford Cup game, I think he's done some good work sort of defensively, but going forward, which arguably what he's in the side for hasn't been as good the last few games. So I think it also depends on Kiscoren's injury. If he's not able to play, then that obviously might enter the thinking as well.
Killian, you remember the last time you played Wrexham?
I don't actually. It's so long ago, but I'm looking forward to it, no doubt. I think it's an important game for us simply because of it's not Wrexham. It's just to do with our home form. We really need to turn that around.
Okay. Join us next week then as we look back on that game. We're also, of course, last time we saw you, Matty, the transfer window was about to close. We were all nervously waiting around for Sergeant news. It never came, thankfully. Are you surprised there wasn't more chatter?
No. I was from quite early on. I was quite confident we'd keep him, unless it was a stupid bid. Tom was keeping tabs on, Brentford selling someone or sort of that sort of size club, and was panicking like there was no tomorrow. And the later it got, the more confident I got that that sort of deal wouldn't happen. It seems like he loves the club. It seems like he loves the fans, and he's obviously been captain in Ken McLean's absence as well prior to McLean's return. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't go up the season, if he was then looking for a move. But fair play to him, because there's been many a player that has looked to move on quicker than he has, and I think he could step up by level. But he obviously feels like he wants to stick around and do well and do his bit. And if, and it's a massive if, but if he stays injury free this season, then I have no doubt he'll finish top scorer with 25-30 goals.
Let's rate the transfer window then, shall we then, Tom? After all the transfers, the outs, the ins, from 1 to 10.
I would have given you probably close to a 10 until the news broke of somebody crossing the divide, whose name we shall not mention.
Oh, we're not allowed to talk about it. We had comments last time saying it was old news, move on. So
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think the business side of it, 10 million quid for a player that 10 months left on his contract, that's excellent business. But I think the only potential sort of improvements I would have made on the window would have probably been the likes of sort of Duffy and Slimani perhaps off the wage bill. But I think when you look at some of the talent we've brought in, and Harry Darling, you mentioned him already. What a signing as a free transfer! What a signing. I mean, even if they told us that we'd spent 5 million quid on him, I would have said, what a signing, because he is absolutely colossal.
Yeah. Killian, sorry, was there a number in there? There was something for 9, was it?
I'll go with a 9. I'm happy with a 9.
Okay. Right. Killian.
Yeah, I'd go 9 as well. I thought it was a very good window. I think we're maybe a little bit still exposed on left and right back. I think Krzani went off limping yesterday, so I don't know whether Mahovo is really ready for full game. Haven't been massively impressed with other left-sided options like Cordoba and Schlupp. So I do think maybe we could have even gone for a loan signing as a left back.
Okay.
But otherwise, I think it's been good.
That's 2 9s, Matty. You're going to help me average this out, aren't you, by going for 9 again?
I was going to be contrary and say 8.5. I got 9 then, yeah. I got 9. It is really, really good. Keeping Sargent is the best business we could have done. The money we got in terms of our outgoings is fantastic, especially with players that didn't have a great deal of time left on the contract, as Tom said. And I think in terms of what we've done longer term, which started last season, letting go, I'm looking back on the likes of Barnes and Fashion Act and those sorts of players who were on big money. Yes, there are still 1 or 2 still to ship off, but overall, yeah, we've continued that good work and brought in some very, very good players. So yeah, obviously got to mention George Lang, haven't I, as well? We're free, so yeah.
Right,
that got I in at the end, yeah.
Let us know in the comments whether you'd give it even a 10 out of 10 or even lower. Thank you very much. You three. Finally, this week then, the international break finally over. Very boring. But it does throw up always the same old question. Are you club versus country? And to me, it's a little bit more interesting. We'll paint this scenario for you. So for all 3 of you, I'd like you to imagine it's a very hot, sunny day in May, and the 3 of you in your shorts and your shades. You're up at the MKM in Hull for the final day of the season, and a Norwich win will see you promoted back to the Premier League. You can have that vision. You can go out and hit the nightclubs in Hull celebrating promotion, or you can wait a month and be sat in your beer gardens with your family watching England lift the World Cup. Tom?
Norwich. I think if we've been promoted to the Premier League a few times, right? And it's great, it's exciting. I mean, for me, nothing beats that sort of feeling when you're in that kind of moment with your fellow Norwich fans. Personally, I think if you'd have said maybe Norwich win the FA Cup or England win the no, it would still be Norwich. I mean, yeah, I think every day of the week it's club over country for me, despite following England and going to the England games.
Killian, I'm not sure that the question maybe applies.
That's a very easy one for me.
Yeah.
He says England.
I think if we were playing Hull to get 7th place, it'd still be Norwich.
Yeah, you're excused, Killian. Matty?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'd have to say Norwich, and yeah, also to Tom's point, like for us to win a bit of silverware would just be amazing. But yeah, club over country for sure.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
Always club. Yeah. Yeah. It's memories, isn't it? Yeah, you be there in person and so on. Before we go, I just want to ask you about a player that's come up on another podcast, Ben Godfrey, who's come up on the Sheffield United podcast for fans calling him out for his. I don't know if you saw his horrendous performance against Ipswich on Friday night. But Matt, are you surprised at his downfall? I mean, when he left you guys to join us, Everton, he was he's a decent player. But what do you suspect has happened?
Yeah, it's a really. I honestly don't know. He looked good for us when he went to. I think Ancelotti quite rated him, and
he did. Yeah.
He built up a head of steam and got 2 England caps. It's like it's a different player now. So yeah, that's not me laughing at his demise. But just a big clear there. That very, very strange. Some players just don't live up to the expectation, I guess. But when we sold him, I genuinely did think, I wasn't saying he was guaranteed to go out and play for England, but I did think he would be a decent bottom half Premier League side player. I think I've said my words in the right order there. So yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame, but yeah. So some players, it doesn't happen for, does it?
No, it's a strange one. Right, thank you very much, you three. We will see you at the other side then of the Wrexham game this weekend. Hopefully 3 points on the board for us at home. And thank you all very much for watching. We're growing a nice little community here. Thanks for all the subs so far. Just press the subscribe button if you like to just follow our journey. And yeah, if you've got 20 minutes spare in your week to listen to these three, chirp on about Norwich. Thank you very much. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks.